Hello everyone, this is Dawn over at Plot Chronicles. Today I want to review a book by kind of a new author to me. It's Dr. Lucinda Berry, and I read the book One of Our Own, and I thought it was a pretty good book. I'm going to just tell you briefly what it was about. Now, she wrote a book that I thought she did an excellent job, and it was something that you don't see. What I like about Dr. Lucinda Berry is she writes books about things that you don't see a lot. You know, a lot of times when people write, especially thrillers or mysteries, you see a lot of similar stories. It's hard to come up with original ideas. But I feel like Dr. Lucinda Berry, she comes up with really good original ideas. And that's what I like about her. And the books are not boring. She does get right into it. And I think her books are easy to follow. So I want to say that. But they are darker. So if you don't like darker, it wouldn't be a good one. But I'm going to tell you what this book was about, and I'm going to tell you a rating and why I gave it the rating. So from now on, I'm going to give you my opinion, but like I always say, do your own research on any book I tell you about, okay? So this book is basically about a girl named Felicia, who is a single mother, okay? And she has a teenage son. And like I said, I won't give any spoilers. Well, she lives in Wisconsin, kind of a smaller town, and they don't talk a lot about her job, but I think she's an attorney. But she also does some volunteer work for a suicide prevention hotline. A girl calls in, she had something traumatized happen, and basically this woman, Felicia, talks to her and wants to continue this conversation. And basically she breaks protocol and exchanges numbers with this girl, and so she ends up talking to this girl and finds out more and more about what happened and things like that. And so this girl opens up to her, and a bunch of stuff comes out. And so she finds out that this girl was and I'll just say this, and this isn't really giving anything away, this girl had she went to a classmate's party and had some very upsetting things happen, and now she feels like it's kind of ruined her life, and she's going to have something follow her around for the rest of her life. So she wants to end it and all of that. And so that's kind of where Felicia's helping her out. But Felicia's seeing signs and wondering what happened to this girl at the party, and who was involved. And with that, when they say who was involved, is it somebody close to home? Does her son know anything about it? What's actually happening in this story? By the way, I had some family members come in, so you might hear some background noise. Do I think it's a good book? I definitely think it's entertaining. Now, the thing that surprised me about this book, it was only 160 some pages. And most thrillers that I read are going to be anywhere from 425 pages to maybe 550 pages, kind of right in that range. But this book was shorter, and personally, I kind of felt like this book needed to be a little bit longer, which normally I say the opposite, like this book's too long. I felt like we needed a little bit more detail and a little bit more character analysis and getting to know all the characters a little bit more and their backgrounds more. But this was a quick, short read, and I was very surprised at the ending. So I will tell you that. I would rate it 3.5 stars, mostly because I wanted more from the book, and I wanted to find out more about the characters along the way. I kind of thought it was a little bit short. So that would be what I say. But I would give it 3.5. It definitely kept my interest. So let me know if you guys have read any of Dr. Lucinda Berry's books. That's all I have to say. Love you, appreciate you, and see you on the next video. Bye-bye.